Wisconsin GOP has a child abuse problem. By that, I mean that a member of the Wisconsin GOP Assembly admitted to police that he beat his child. But I suppose I should put problem in quotation marks because they don't seem to care at all. In November of 2021, the Green Bay Press-Gazette published a series of articles detailing an investigation that had taken place in January 2013 by the Green Bay Police Department into the actions of current Wisconsin Assemblymember Shae Sortwell. Here's the gist of what was revealed in the police report. A relative was giving one of Sortwell's children a bath when the relative discovered 5 bruises on the child, each about 4 inches in length. The police were notified after the child was taken to the hospital. The relative told the police that he or she had heard either Sortwell or his wife previously make a comment about beating the sin out of the child. During the investigation, Sortwell admitted the following to the police. He did use corporal punishment on his child because the Bible tells him to. He would hit his child with an object, not his hands. He would typically strike his child twice when the child was being defiant. He had struck his child 3 days prior to the discovery of the bruises. Upon completion of the investigation, the police recommended felony child abuse charges against both Sortwell and his wife. The Green Bay DA's office decided against bringing charges, however. Now, I'm not going to get into the DA's office decision to not bring charges here. Maybe they should have brought charges, maybe not. The big issue here is still Sortwell's actions. Regarding his actions, there's still a lot that is unknown. The documents reviewed by the Press-Gazette were redacted, and the following information was not revealed. The name of the child, obviously, the age and gender of the child, the object Sortwell used to strike his child, and where the bruises were located on the child's body. But it doesn't take much to get a good idea about that second part. Sortwell and his wife currently have 6 children. This photo appears on Sortwell's assembly page, and it's unknown when it was taken. Here's a previous photo, however, that Sortwell posted on his public Facebook page on January 9th, 2019. Sortwell was first sworn in as an assembly member 2 days beforehand, so one could assume this photo was taken that day. Note, they have 4 children at this time. I'm not showing their faces here, but as the father of young children myself, I can tell you that at most, 2 of these children were even alive in January 2013, and only one of them would have been up and about and have the capacity to act defiant. And I'd bet that child was no more than 3 or 4 years old at the time. But let's give some major leeway and say that the child was 6 years old in 2013. Per Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, the normal height of a 6-year-old is between 42 and 49 inches. Again, we'll give leeway and assume that the child was on the tall edge of that range, 4 feet and 1 inch tall. The bruises were not discovered until the child was given a bath, so we can assume they were not on any part of the body that would not be covered by regular clothing. Given that they were discovered in January, and pants and long-sleeve shirts could have been worn on the regular, the bruises realistically could have been anywhere aside from the head, neck, and hands. Here's what 5 4-inch bruises would have looked like on a 49-inch tall child's back. Here's what they would have looked like on the leg. Here's what they would look like on the upper arm. Pretty substantial bruises, particularly considering they were delivered by a fully grown man upon a child that probably couldn't even tie his or her own shoes yet. When the story broke, Sortwell was typically unrepentant. He released a statement that did little more than call the relative who discovered the bruises disgruntled, and noted that no charges were brought. That's that, apparently. He's never addressed the issue publicly again. The most he did was resign from the Brown County chapter of Wisconsin Right to Life. Well, unfortunately, Sortwell actually won re-election for his assembly seat in a heavily red district the following fall. As I said, apparently the GOP does not care about child abuse. But this year, Sortwell is in a new district. He's going to have to win over new voters. Isn't it important for those new voters to know what kind of child-beating jerk this guy is? I would hope so, and I would hope those voters come to the conclusion that a monster like Sortwell has no business making decisions that could affect our lives and our children.